Good evening, Spiritual Collective. So tonight when I asked what we needed to hear to move forward into the coming days on this additional read, the Eights of Air in the reverse came out. I feel like you are in this state of really making sure that you're doing what needs to be done to keep these negative thoughts, intrusive thoughts from invading, but you're still in this process of doing it. It's still something that you're doing and you're getting better at it, but sometimes it's not as concrete a habit as it could be. And sometimes you may find yourself slipping, that these thoughts may be getting in. But I feel overall you're pretty successful when you do attempt and accomplish this with the thoughts and the negative looping mental talk, right? Intrusive thoughts. But I feel like you are successful in doing this. It did come out in the reverse, but I feel like this is just because it's not something that is as solid in your habits, your habitual processes as it should be, and it's still in development. And again, sometimes it can be overwhelming at times. You're getting a lot better at blocking it though. A lot better, and you're being successful. There's definitely, with these two cards, this element of protection, a force field that you're able to create. You may try shielding. You may use shielding. You may need to use shielding. But shielding is important. So there are different ways you can do this. You can look up online. There are in many books, creating this energetic force field, energetic symbolic field around you, so that you're able to block things and maybe allow filter to have some things come in. It's different for everybody. Everybody has different shielding techniques that they use. Use one or multiple, but engage in this activity, or you may do this. But either way, that's coming into play here. Your shielding is going to get better, or is getting better, a lot better, and it's allowing you to walk into a new life. Because maybe also in the past there also may be an element of this that's in the past as well, because I feel like you're getting a lot better at especially if you've been with us the last couple readings. There's also maybe an element of the past that you weren't able to shield or to block, and now you're getting a lot better because you're shielding. That may also be an interpretation that I'm getting, I feel. Because I do feel like it's gonna get stronger. You're getting stronger. So at some point, yeah, there's no worries. If you are in a state where you feel like it's hard to do, definitely do shielding, because this is something that you need to do in order to block this out. Three of Earth follows. You're walking into this new successful life of vibrancy, of camaraderie with others, of helping, of a connection with others. This will come. It may be with you already, but definitely is coming, and it definitely will be fruitful and abundant. Your interaction with others, allowing things to be successful, allowing you to move forward more easily with help. Also help from the divine as well. Okay. Chaotic. There's some chaotic energy around here, around you. The Four of Water and the Hermit. Yeah, okay. There may be an element also too of contemplation, of wishing, of wondering, of yeah, you're lost in your thoughts. There's also an element of being lost in your thoughts, of deep contemplation, but also being so deep in thoughts that you're not really aware of your surroundings at times. Not even just in your physical reality, but also just needing to be more alert to things that are on the subtle realms too. The Hermit. Yeah, you want to spend time alone with yourself in contemplation. In both these, you're looking into the water. The person looking into the water is you. You're hermiting. You're looking in. Again, with this Three of Earth, the Three of Pentacles, that followed, that ended the first set of cards, there was people. There was, you know, a helping hand, and also just a group effort. But there's a need for you to also pull away and to contemplate. But not to contemplate and to dwell on things and distracting you from things that you need to be aware of. Okay? And again, some of these things are on the other side. Like your focus, you may need to tune your focus in. Okay. Let's see. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my, no. No. Serious? Ah. Oh my god, feral focus. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Like, I went, okay, I'll choose this. And like, it flew out. Feral focus. What did I just say before pulling the card? Focus. A need to focus. Okay, let's read it. Feral focus. Want to become unstoppable? Get crystal clear on what you want and refuse to be seduced by anything that dilutes it. Okay? Crystal clear. So maybe you need to take this time to do this contemplation to become crystal clear. You know? Don't let anything come in and seduce you from into diluting your plans. So that could be another way of looking at that. But I just said focus. There's this element of focus. And what flew out? Focus. See, you can't make this stuff up. Whoa. This deck just wants to fly out of my... Feel to heal, okay? The wound you refuse to feel is a wound that refuses to heal. But pain buried alive never dies. So feel your pain. Feel your feelings. Look at your wound. There also may be an element of now when I look at this card, another element to this card in connection to feel to heal is blocking these things out that you need to confront in order to heal them. Negative creator. You're the creator no matter what. The question is, are you creating from fear or truth? Okay. So this buried wound, this buried pain may be manifesting into your creations, or maybe, you know, affecting your manifestations. Definitely, there is a need to be aware of what you're thinking, of what you're letting get in, right? Letting these negative or these tumultuous thoughts get in and affect your mind and affect what you're manifesting. Okay. Radical hope. In a world littered with chaos and darkness, choosing hope is the wildest form of rebellion. And like I said, there was some chaos when I was doing the shuffling. So I did feel like maybe there's a little chaos in your world right now. On some level. There's radical hope. So stay hopeful. Because I feel like you can get down a lot too with the Hermit and the Four of Cups. And it all starts with the invasive thoughts that you need to block and guard. Or the thoughts, so two things here. The thoughts, the invasive, negative thoughts that keep coming back to you, you need to confront those. You need to have a shield to block those, but you also need to confront them too. So, doing a little battle here. You need to do a little battle. You need to do a little shadow work. I feel like shadow work's coming out. Identity crisis. Who are you outside of the roles, titles, survival strategies? It's time to remember who you were before you were told who to be. Again, with this contemplation, needing this time alone. And this contemplation. Okay. Your identity crisis. That might also be, again, here with this Four of Cups. Really, really spending time with who you are. Validation trap. Okay. Okay, here we go. You got identity crisis and you got validation trap. That's a cool card. Approval is addictive, but it's a high that always crashes. You'll never feel whole if you're building yourself from borrowed praise. Yeah, but I feel like someone like her, she doesn't look like she needs like she's seeking outward validation. But anyways, yeah, be strong, be who you are. Don't look for outward validation. Again with identity crisis, yeah. You might sometimes be too reliant on other people's opinion. And this comes in the form of like what they think you look like, what they think about what you believe, what they think about what you say. You care too much. Maybe you need to do something. Maybe you need to do something that's really like out there, or like it was something that's you, obviously. But something, well, you should always like not give a shit what other people think. But I'm trying to, how do I word this? Like maybe do some, like, just to prove to yourself that you don't need anyone's validation. Do something that you might feel uneasy doing because other people might think that it's like whatever, weird, crazy, you know, I don't know, something, you would know what this is. You just need to think about it. And maybe do that, like, in public, and really show that you don't care. Maybe that might help you, might jolt you out. That's just a suggestion. You don't have to do that. But definitely, like, something that's, like, just to get you out of this. If you're really in this, like, oh, I need to please people and I can't be myself because other people might not agree or approve. The scarcity wound. Scarcity isn't just material. It shows up in how you love, how you feel, how you receive. Are you brave enough to believe there could be more? A scarcity mindset. Okay, and then not for sale. Your priorities are clear. Your values are non-negotiable. Authenticity may not always pay, but it always aligns. So you need to be authentic. You need to be clear on what your values are and who you are, and it should be non-negotiable. Because you're definitely dealing with this identity crisis, validation trap. You need to be like, hey, you know, it's non-negotiable. Who I am, what I'm saying, what I'm doing, you know, it's non-negotiable. Okay, and with the scarcity wound, there's something that's scarce. At least you feel like that for some reason. That's what's coming up. Again, looking at the Four of Cups. Maybe contemplating that there should be something more. With this identity crisis and this, so I'm thinking it has to do with your inner self. Your inner self right now. Needing to be strong. And it's creating a scarcity because you're not being true to yourself. There's some element here, okay. I feel like we have some new people in this reading. Or you may be falling into old patterns. Because I feel like the past readings have been moving away from this kind of energy. This feels new. So I feel like yeah, this is someone or multiple people who are having an issue with being genuine and being authentic. And if there's a lot of things we heal in this channel, it's you're gonna be authentic, okay? Because you got to be. And so guess what we're bringing out? We are bringing out the shadow work. That's what we're doing. Because oh yeah, this is a really strong call for some shadow work. Needs to be done. You need to engage in some hobbies. I'm sure you probably have some hobbies. You need to spend a little more time on them maybe. You need to definitely show yourself some self-love here. You need to engage in things that are authentic to you. Make time for yourself. Again with this Hermit card, yeah, you need to make time for yourself. Spending time with yourself, doing things that you like to do. Masquerade. Ah! Oh my God. Seriously. Oh. Doesn't look. Wow. Okay, so this double attention to this card. Okay. So the masquerade. You're putting on a mask. You're wearing a mask for others for some reason. You're not being 100% true to who you are, who because of what other people will say, what they'll do. You may be afraid of being shunned for some reason. Forgetting oneself. Again with the mask on the, by the eye, the mask. Forgetting yourself. Who are you? Okay? Who are you? What do you enjoy doing? What do you want to do with your life? Your life. Not your parents' life, not your friends' life, not your siblings' life. Not your significant other's life, your life. Hiding your oh my God. Seriously. Hiding your true self. Like, I can't make this up. This is all coming out. Like, you okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad you found this channel. Okay. Alright. Hiding your true self. You are hiding your true self. Okay. Alright. Now that we know that you're playing small for others, you may have been bullied, you may have been ridiculed, you may have, again, been shunned, you may have been, you're afraid of being seen for who you are, because it might affect this 3 of Earth. Okay. You gotta get real comfortable. You gotta get real comfortable with this. Being alone. Being alone. I enjoy being alone. I love being alone. Okay? You know what? There's a lot of stuff I do when I'm alone. I can also contemplate when I'm alone. I can do a lot of things when I'm alone. Okay? I enjoy it. I actually don't really like being around a gazillion D people. Especially because that's kind of my job. I gotta be around a gazillion D people, and it's just like too much. And what happens is you can tell people who need this self-validation of others, this validation trap of other people. Okay? Just to play nice, just to get along. And it may even be that you are hiding your true self for no reason. They might still get along with you. Again, I don't know your situation. They might still get along with you, even if you're being your true self. Also, if you be your true self, you'll find other people that are okay with you. Queen of my world. Here we go. See, you know, this is what you need. Queen of your world. You need to feral focus on being the queen of your world. You need to spend time alone, and in this time alone, you need to get really focused on what you want to create in your life. Queen of your world. What does your world look like? What do you want to do? What are your goals? You may have to set some boundaries. You're gonna have to set some boundaries. Yeah, you're letting people get too much. You're giving too much of yourself. Even in a way, like, by not being who you are, you're giving yourself away. Envious gluttony. That's not that what that says? Envious gluttony. This is the first time I've done this. Interesting. Envious gluttony. Oof. Wow. Jeez Louise. Wow. Okay. Check that image out there. So anyways, maybe you're afraid of people being envious towards you. Maybe you've had people be envious towards you in the past, and they were envious, and so they wanted to take from you. I don't feel like that this is you. Are you envious of others? Are you envious of others because you're not being true to yourself? It could be either way. You don't want to fall into this energy. I mean, look at that. Ugh. I mean, the skull's kind of cool, but she's... I mean, you don't want to feel that way. Okay? I'm just saying, like, that's a lot. You need to spend a lot of time not caring about other people. Like, not caring what they think, not caring about what they say, not caring about how they want you to live your life. None of that. I knew. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was going to come out. Is this me? Is this you? Is this who you are? That's just a cool image, by the way. I always get Lilith vibes from this. But is this you? You're not being true to yourself? Obviously, from this spread, again, take it if it resonates. I know a few people who are regulars, this probably is not going to resonate, but if it does, you need to, oh boy, don't live another person's life. I mean, there's a lot of us who almost did that. I know I almost did. And you know, I still got to catch myself too sometimes. I'm like, okay, am I being true to myself in this way? I'm true to myself in a lot of ways. A lot of ways. A lot more than I used to be. But there's still some times where I'm like, you know, when it comes to my job, I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I mean, I know, you know, security and stuff, but seriously, I got to school myself too. So, you know, this does happen. But when it comes to being comfortable and like needing validation from others, ugh. No. You're not playing that game. Come on, let's get some more tips, because you do not want to play those games. You're gonna be lost. You're gonna disappear. Ugh. No. Here we go. Oh, here's some great advice. Here we go. Shock of the new. Expand yourself out. Expose yourself to new things. Okay? Find things these new things that you expose yourself to. Are there any of them that you want to do for yourself? Is there a certain way you want to appear to others that you're afraid other people are like, oh, that's weird, and just do it? You got to free yourself from these limiting ways that you're thinking and how you're conforming, because you're afraid to be yourself. That's not what we do here, okay? That's not what we do here. We be ourselves here as much as we can. And I know there are some limiting environments. You know, you might be in a limiting environment, but try as much as possible to break free from this, and I mean as much as possible, and in little ways move past this pleasing other people and others' validation of you. Because you're gonna regret it in the end. You're gonna be like, I wish I just lived my life. If I had lived the life that my parents wanted me to live, or my sister wanted me to live, or, you know, people I knew, you know, wanted me to live, I would not be happy. I would live a totally different life. Actually, I probably would have, like, ended up... I probably would have ended up eventually becoming myself, like, you know, breaking free, because I can't. But if I had, I would have been miserable. You know what kind of life you want to live. And if not 100%, you need to feral focus on it. I like that feral focus. That's great. You gotta do it. Okay? And going beyond normal. You need to go beyond normal. Do something just beyond normal for you. Just whatever you feel comfortable doing that's out of your norm, but that you like to do, and do it. Also, the creative ideas. You're going to get a lot of creative ideas when you take time to be with yourself, to reflect, and do the things that you like to do. The things that are calling to you. The things that you've been drawn to do. When you do them, when you engage in them, you get these creative ideas. You get creative insight. It's important for you to follow that. Yeah, receiving creative insight. Receiving creative insight. Receiving ideas. Receiving healing. This is all going to come to you when you do these things. But you're about to break out into the new. But you have a problem with breaking out and being bold and being yourself in a very bold way. because again, you're still worried about other people and what they think. Okay? You need to step beyond that. Yeah, let's get some NLP cards. I think you need some NLP. I think we all could use some NLP. Interrupting patterns, okay? Every habit is a loop. Trigger, I'm sorry, yeah. Read that again. Every habit is a loop, trigger, action, reward. Using pattern interrupts, you can break this cycle by introducing small incremental disruptions to any habit you want to change. Over time, these interruptions become part of the pattern, creating lasting transformation. Trigger, action, reward. Every habit has a loop. A trigger that triggers the habit, an action that is the habit, and the reward that you get from doing the habit. It could be physical, but it could also be internal. And using pattern interrupts, you can break this cycle by introducing small incremental disruptions to any habit you want to change. Over time, these interruptions become part of the pattern. Okay, so you need to interrupt this pattern. You need to be aware of what triggers it, what you're doing that is the habit, and what reward you're getting out of it, and then you can interrupt that, okay? And then you can transform that habit, change it, you know. Oh my Lord, that's a lot. Is that a lot? Oh yeah, that's all right, we don't need half the deck. All right. All right, here we go. Backtracking. A simple but powerful tool for communication. Backtracking involves repeating or summarizing key points to ensure that you and your conversation partner are on the same page. Taking the time to backtrack can prevent miscommunications and build stronger rapport. So you may need to clarify what other people are saying. There might be some miscommunication that you need to work on. So if you backtrack, you can make crystal clear what they're saying so they can't manipulate you, and if you're understanding what they're saying, so that you're both on the same page, or however many people are in the conversation. That will help this Three of Earth communication and teamwork with other people. It also can make you, catch things. You know, catch maybe how you're being manipulated, or catch how there's a miscommunication and how people aren't really thinking they're saying what you think they're saying. Power of suggestion. Your unconscious listens closely to everything you repeat, especially when you're not paying attention. The things you're repeating to yourself. Self-suggestion happens constantly. Start tuning in. Are your words planting power or doubt? Speak only what you want to grow. So really pay attention to your words. And maybe also this is also backtracking your own words. What are you saying to yourself over and over again? Okay. So be cautious of that. State precedes strategy. When things aren't working, the problem may or may not be your strategy. It may be your state. A tense body and scattered thoughts can sabotage even the best plan. Remember, state precedes strategy. Reset your energy and begin with clarity. So pay attention to the state of your body, the state of you before, right? Before you act. Where is that image? Where is that card? Okay. I was looking for... Okay, well, remember with the... Here we go. I'm also being called to, like, with this whole, like, backtracking and paying attention to your state, your thoughts. Again, addressing them before they come through. Again, with this blocking. Maybe this will buy you time to, like, when you put that energy out there, you see how she's blocking. Like, you can actually look and analyze your thoughts and your state and your being, and what you're telling yourself and what thoughts are continually looping, you know. And then you can go ahead, and once you're got them in that state where they're not coming at you, you can analyze them and better address them. If you look at that image, they're at a pause, they're at a distance, and from that state you can be able to really clearly look and analyze. Contrast frame. The way you compare experiences shapes your perception of reality. A contrast frame allows you to see something more clearly by placing it side by side with another experience. For example, when you feel like you're not making progress, compare your skills, mindset, and situation now to a year ago. Yeah, so your contrast, like, compare it to something. Compare, like, the way you compare experiences shapes your perception of reality. Yeah, when you where you are a year ago, where you were 5 years ago. You may think that you're not really making headway, but you're making headway. And it's the time frame that you're giving yourself. You're not really showing how much growth you've had, because your contrast is you know, your window isn't quite appropriate, right? There's a lot of mental work you need to do. Your life is getting better. It will get better. There's a need for you to be bold and unapologetic. Seriously. You need to really focus on you. You need to focus on the life that you want to live, and you need to focus on really getting your mind right. But, you know, don't we all, right? In many ways, right? Okay. I see this as like a lot of communication for you. I think there's something that gets lost in communication when I'm seeing these cards. Backtracking, contrast frame, state of how you are when you're, you know, communicating. All these. And then there's just not being true to yourself, because maybe how you're perceiving others, perceiving you. What has no bearing on what will be? What does your ideal life look like and feel like? Oh, your ideal life. What does it look like and feel like? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Of course. Right? That's what we're talking about. This reading is for you to really get in line with what you want your life to look like, and stop living what you think other people want you to live. How you think other people, what would be more socially acceptable for you to do and say and think and look like. This is not your practice life. Decide. This ain't your practice life. Okay, you need to decide on what you want to do and move forward with it. What is your inner voice telling you about the dream in your heart? What is your inner voice telling you about the dream in your heart? You need to go for it. You need to, again, be crystal clear, and, you know, the Feral Focus card. Feral Focus. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, look at this image. Is she naked on a horse? Oh, I gotta take a little look at this card, just to make sure. Okay, maybe not. Oh no, she's wearing something. I was like, dang, that's really going for it. Okay. Anyways, soul alignment. it's time for a radical change. It is time for radical change. You need to align your soul with your life so you can like do your life purpose. Don't you want to live your life purpose? Don't you want to have meaning in your life? Don't you want to have the life that you wanted to live? You know, it may not be perfectly what you would 100% want, but you need to get on track to where it's more in line with who you are. Okay? How can you show up for yourself in ways that you never have before? How can you show up for yourself? Because there is a lot of not showing up for yourself here in this reading. There's a lot of not showing up for yourself, of just needing the validation of others and the approval of others and not moving forward with that and losing yourself and disappearing. That's the thing, disappearing. Not living your life, you disappear. So it's important for you to get in line with what life you need to be living. Okay? Oh, okay. Your true tribe can't show up until you do. That's what I was saying. Your true tribe can't show up until you do. Remember in the very beginning with this Three of Pentacles cards, when they're all helping each other out, your true tribe can't show up. The true people that were meant to be in your life can't show up if you're not being authentically you. You're going to have people who are aligning with the person you're pretending to be or dimming yourself to be. Okay, you want a true alliance here, you're going to have to be truly yourself. Oh, that's pretty. And so you need to figure that out. The younger you do this, the better. I'm just saying. You know, it helps to get on track. The sooner the better. Okay, you don't want to wait too long. I mean, it's never too late to make your life better. But I'm just saying, better sooner than later, right? So you seeing this, it's important for you to be true to yourself, okay? Turn your worry into wonder. Surrender the experience. Yeah, whatever you're worried about, there is some worry here. There's some anxiety about other people. You may be in a very controlled environment. You may have really judgmental people around you. You need to find a way to break free from that. Easier said than done, I know. But again, you need to make moves. And even just little things can help and add up. Turn your worry into wonder. Surrender to the experience. What possibilities can you dream into reality? Yeah, this is a time for you to dream, to be clear with what you want out of your life, and not to care about what other people are saying and thinking. Because they don't really matter. Okay? You matter. Your life matters. And you're going to thank yourself in the future for making the choice to choose yourself and to move forward confidently and boldly into your new world, your new life of power. Six of Fire. Moving boldly into your successful new life. You know? The queen of your world. There was a card, the queen of your world. You definitely have to align with that. Or king, you know, depending on whatever. But you need to align with who you are and who you're meant to be. And you need to, you will figure this out. It's not hard to know what kind of life you want to live. It's the things you've been drawn to since you were young. The things you've always wanted to do or experience. And there are little ways to get tastes of those in small steps, if that's what you need. But you need to make these steps because you're going to end up living a life that you regret if you don't step into the life that you're meant to live, okay? All right? So do that. Step boldly into who you are. And with that, you'll be confident moving into the life that you were meant to live.